Hello everyone and welcome to Nara's Tarot. Thank you very much for being here. In today's reading, we're going to take a look at some divine guidance that will clear out your doubts. So if there's something that's been weighing on your mind, if a situation has been very uncertain or unclear, hopefully this reading will bring you the clarity that you seek to help you to move past this doubt, okay? So there are 3 piles for you today. This is pile 1, pile 2, and pile 3. So feel free to pause the video here if you'd like to take some time to connect with the piles, and otherwise I will see you at your reading. Alright, hello pile 1 and welcome to your reading. So this first card here will tell us the situation that you're dealing with, and we're going to use this part of the reading to confirm if this is meant for you. And then we'll have 2 more cards here to look at the guidance that Spirit is sending you today, okay? So your situation is the King of Swords in reverse. Alright. I'm laughing because this is a reading about clearing up certain doubts inside of you, and the King of Swords in reverse is pretty much that. He is unclear. He's in a very disadvantageous position because he doesn't have the information that he needs to be able to move forward. And he is, I'm also hearing like waiting for something to come in, waiting for some information. And if that information doesn't come in, it's very difficult for him to proceed with what he wants to do, or to even get any sense of, do I go left or right, or is this the right move to make? Like, it's very hard to make any kind of like clear and informed decision without something coming in. All right, so that's the first message coming through with this King of Swords. The second thing I'm seeing with the King of Swords is also that many of you thrive under structure. We have this keyword structure over here in this card. And there's a situation right now that you're dealing with that is very structureless, essentially. And it doesn't have like a clear pathway. It maybe doesn't even have clear steps about what you can do next. Like, this could be like, for instance, you're applying for something and the application process is just very, very, very unclear and not helpful in bringing you like the information that you need. It doesn't tell you when you will hear back. It doesn't really give you clear instructions about what's next. Everything has to be kind of like figured out in a very haphazard manner. Like, you know, for instance, there isn't like a website where you can find all the information. Like the information is coming in drips and drabs. So something, it just feels very structureless, and it's presenting a lot of uncertainty about what you should be doing next, okay? So if this is your situation, this is confirmation for you, and let's look at the guidance for you, okay? We have Death and Empress. Wow, 2 major arcana cards. Now, before I actually go further into your guidance, there's one more thing that this King of Swords is saying. It's also saying that there's something that you want to bring into the world with this Empress card here. Like, she is pregnant, as you can see, and she wants to bring something into the world. And the King of Swords is saying that there's something that you want to manifest, but you don't have clear instructions or a process as to how to manifest it. This is very much like, for instance, manifesting love, or maybe manifesting a business, for instance. There isn't really a set rule that everybody needs to follow to manifest their dream love or their dream business, right? Like, although there are certain conventional steps that one could take, for instance, go on dating apps, put yourself out there, or, you know, for business, you know, build your social media channels, put yourself in front of your customers more, stuff like that. Although there are those things, but in the grander scheme of things, like, your business is unique to you, and it isn't like something that you can just copy paste from somebody else. Like, your playbook is yours. So you're kind of like writing a new story for yourself, and therefore that's where a lot of the uncertainty lies, because you don't fully know how to write that story. You've never written it before, essentially. This is very new to you if not done it before. Okay. The interesting thing then about Death and Empress as your 2 cards of guidance is this whole process of going through death, rebirth, and actually birthing something with the Empress here. You see that how there's this cycle of life coming in, that in order for life to happen, there also needs to be a process of death, you know, and for death to happen, there must also be life that precedes it. So these two things are inseparable, you can say. They come together. They are in it, they are in a cycle. There's something very spiritual about the journey that you're on, which makes me feel like this is very much or very close to your life path, your life purpose. In fact, it very much could be, but I like to be careful about things when I say them online, because not everything is as big or as dramatic as like your life path or purpose. Like sometimes it is, but for something like this, when it feels very spiritual in nature, it feels very like destiny, very very important, to your life path. All right, and that's why I say that. So the guidance coming through for many of you, number one, is to let go of control, which is no surprises there when it comes to dealing with uncertainty. Because the more you try to like control this situation, the more you try to make sense of it and try to like systemize it, or you're trying to create steps in something as unstructured as quote unquote death. And I'm not talking about a literal death, but a symbolic death. The more death will show you that you cannot control it. You cannot tell death what to do, because death is running on very, very different terms, right? And death brings us a very different lesson about letting go. Okay, this is almost like somebody trying to tell death what to do, and death basically showing you who's boss, right? And what is the death situation that you might be going through in your life right now? Where are things being called to be more fluid, to be more flexible? Maybe you've been feeling the need to be more flexible when it comes to your work, but then work demands are always pushing you to be more and more controlling, more and more hands-on. They're asking for more hours maybe, but maybe what you want is to just do your own thing and have more fluidity and flexibility in your schedule. And some things, just like, if there are things in your life that are like oil and water, and they're just not like what you want, and what you have right now are like totally opposites, that's very likely the death process that's happening. It is to let go of what life is now, so that you can welcome the new life that you have. And I want to say that like this process is very mystical in a way, because it's almost like the moment you let go of something, the birth just happens. Like the moment we let go of needing reality to change on our terms, that's also when the Empress can do her thing and bring you the baby, the quote-unquote baby, or the new life, the new business, the new opportunity, the new door to come to you. But the more we try to cling on to how we think things should be, we can't really quite progress forward. We can't really quite move forward. Okay, and I want to add that like for Death and Empress to come out this way, there's something very magical about this process, where things can happen quite quickly for you, because they're literally sitting side by side, meaning there is very little room between death to birth. So when you let go of something, it's almost when the next step appears. It's like, when you're swinging on a monkey bar, like the moment you let go, the next monkey bar will show up in front of you to grab hold of the next thing. And so it's kind of like this strange thing where if you don't let go, the next bar kind of doesn't show up for you. But the moment that you let go, the next step, the next offer, the next job, the next love connection will then come to you, because you have also committed to it. You have also shown that you're willing and ready to reach out to it, just as it is reaching out to you. So I think things happen quite quickly for you, but it's almost like it's a mental thing that we need to let go of. Very much King of Swords in reverse. We just have to mentally overcome the fear of falling or failing, or the fear of, the universe not responding to our calls, the fear of all sorts of fears. Like we just need to mentally overcome those fears to be able to reach out to the next thing. And I say we just need to, but I mean, of course, that's easier said than done. But yeah, essentially, letting go of your fears, which is very much death as well. Death triggers up a lot of fears in many of us because we don't understand it and we don't really know what happens after death. But this is the what's happening, the process essentially, that with death comes birth. So it's very magical because this is extremely open-ended. This is basically saying to you guys that what you have in mind, what you have in your heart that you want, yeah, you're gonna get it with the Empress here. You will get it. It's just letting go of the form, letting go of how you get it, letting go of what exactly you will get, letting go of the need to control how you will get it as well. That allows this thing to just enter your life easily and gently and quickly. Okay, so let's get you some oracle cards to look at. What else? Spirit wants you to know, wow, your first card is Metal Monkey, let go of control. Crazy. Crazy. That is exactly what we've been talking about this whole reading. And we have Fire Dog, redefine your boundaries. Okay, so this redefining of boundaries could help you to achieve what you want a little bit faster, because for instance, if you really want to have like a new, for instance, like a new love life, like that's what you've been manifesting, right? But if you keep bringing in energies of people who, for instance, disrespect your feelings, if you're talking to someone and they display signs of them not respecting what you want, then we may need to redefine our boundaries just to ensure that we are energetically aligned or more aligned with what we want. And I say this with caution as well, because we can't be like cutting every single uncomfortable thing out of our lives, and that's not the intention of setting healthy boundaries. But it's almost like if you want your new life to be here, then we also need to stop doing things that prevent that new life from coming in, right? Like if we want that new life, it's like new mothers, right? Like if she wants a baby, if the parents want a baby, then maybe they have to eat healthier. They have to ensure that their home is in a suitable state to welcome a new life. They have to do certain things to maybe make sure that they are in a quiet, in a conducive environment. So there's a lot of boundary keeping in bringing in new life into our lives, like a delicate baby. So think of it that way. Like even if you're like doing business, right? Like, is your life right now conducive for creating a business? Do you have the right time blocks for it? Are you setting aside time to invest back into your business? Are you doing your action steps to grow your business, right? Like, do we need to put in some boundaries to tell people that, hey, this is what I'm focusing on. I can't be distracted, or I don't want to be, and maybe I don't have time for these other activities, but it's just for the time being. I am just wanting to do, or I'm choosing to dedicate my time this way now. So yeah, it's just a little bit of caution that we're exercising as we are welcoming new life into ourselves. Underneath that, you have seek and you shall find, the Firebird. Wow. So definitely this is that Empress card over and over again. Seek and you shall find. Like, it is so clear that you guys will get it. I really hope that you believe in yourself that you can get it. It meaning whatever you want to manifest. And what really also needs to happen is for us to let go of control, okay? Let's get you more cards about this situation to clear out your doubts. And I'm just noticing that this candle is almost out, so I will change it when it is out. But anyway, we have rejection. And gratitude. Ooh, and she's also pregnant. So clearly you guys are definitely welcoming new life into yourself. Underneath that, we have balance, okay? So one thing that's also coming through here is that death can feel like rejection to some of you, you know, when this death process comes, because it kind of is like taking out a lot of things in your life, reshuffling, it's reorganizing, it's constantly changing, and you might have been going through certain very massive transformations in your life in the last few years is what I'm hearing. So it's been a lot, you know, and I wonder if some of you have been going through rejection after rejection, meaning that the doors keep closing on you and things that you try to start just never really take off. And there's a lot of doubts about why this rejection is happening. And the key thing here is that spirit is answering this rejection and your questions about it with the message of gratitude. And I think what's going on is that at this point in time in your life, you may not need to know all of the answers as to why those doors have closed, because it maybe isn't the most important thing right now. Right now, maybe what we can do is to have a heart of gratitude for the things that have not worked out in our lives, to trust that they haven't worked out for some reason, and to know also that at some point we will understand why those things didn't work out. Spirit isn't saying that, you're not meant to know, or that, you're just meant to like throw a positive blanket of gratitude over this and just call it a day. That's not really the message that I'm hearing. It's more so that like right now, your focus is on bringing in this new life. So if you're trying to like decipher why certain things didn't work out in the past, like that's not where you're really being the most effective with your use of energy. And eventually this answer will be clear to you, but right now, like knowing this doesn't really help, so it's almost like being very, very like effective in how you want to like conserve your energy and use your energy. Spirit is just saying that just be grateful for the things that didn't work out, because they didn't work out for a reason, most likely for a good reason, with gratitude here. A lot of the times it was Spirit's way of balancing out certain things for you with that balance card underneath the deck. It was a way to make sure that you weren't over investing, I'm hearing, in some things that were not meant for you, So when the door closed, and when it closed kind of like prematurely on you, I think it left some of you really wondering, like, why do failures keep happening in my life? But actually, when they close prematurely, it's also Spirit's way of just kind of like not wasting your time on something, so that you can actually just move on and not drag further on into something. So that's why you might see a lot of changes in your life. Like things just keep changing and moving quite quickly, and there isn't time to like dilly-dally on things that are just not working out. Just a Spirit way of telling you that, yeah, this is done, this chapter is closed, you have seen enough, learned enough, heard enough, time to move on, and they kind of like shuttle you to the next lesson, and you're like, hold up, I haven't felt any achievement here, right? I haven't really built up my career here, or I haven't really built up a life here. You're telling me to just move on. And Spirit has been kind of like throwing you to the next thing and the next thing all the time. And another message Spirit is saying is also to let go of achievement, or let go of the attachment to achievement, because it's very tempting to want to have certain trophies and prizes or status symbols that make us look and feel good in front of others. But there's something about this whole journey that you've been on that has taught you to really see achievements and see this like status symbols as less important in your life, and to actually find out then what is important to you. Like at the end of the day, when you are alone at night, do these achievements make you feel good, or is there something else, that really brings peace to your soul? And that sounds dramatic, but actually that is essentially what Spirit wants you to discover on a deeper level, because you may be chasing after these achievements, and maybe some of these things, if you had spent more time on these things that didn't work out and you actually gotten somewhere with it, you might have felt very empty at the peak of that mountain, that you climbed all the way up there and you're like, hang on, like I've reached this peak of this success, but at what cost? And Spirit was really trying to help you to avoid having to go through that kind of situation. Okay, and again, that makes it difficult to, I can understand why it's not easy to accept that, because if you really want something to your name, like if you really want to build something, like it's not easy to say that, well, I'm just going to let go of achievement and I don't give a shit about successes in my life. I mean, those things are kind of important, right? To feel accomplished, to feel successful. Not going to lie, like we're all human, like we all need that. But it was Spirit's way of saying that we don't want to be attached to achievements that are not ours. We don't want to be attached to trophies and prizes and status symbols or positions that we don't belong in. Like, there's no point devoting more time to those things. And that's why you were so quickly shuttled on from one thing to the next. Like, the moment you learn your lesson in something, you might have just been like thrown to the next thing. Okay, so that's why those rejections kept happening. Let's see what else Spirit wants you to know, okay? Okay, we have here beautiful divine magic, wishes, goals, dreams, and accomplishment. You see that? You will find your accomplishment. It's just what's meant for you. You're not just going to have any old accomplishment. You're not just going to be the leader of any old team or business. You're going to be the leader of something that actually you want to lead. And that's the big thing here. This is the divine magic coming in. It's accomplishments, it's goals, wishes, and dreams that you can own, right? That you feel proud of, that you actually believe in. And not just anything, all right? Let's get you one more message from this deck. Okay, we have here self-respect and worthiness in reverse, and the keywords are insecure, critical, codependent, and indifferent. Some of you might have really felt this way for a while, given if things have been very challenging for you, you might not have felt very worthy. You might have not been able to look yourself in the mirror and feel good. But this is a guidance here to not let that overwhelm you, because you're criticizing yourself on things that were not meant for you. So if it's not meant for you, let it just slide. Let yourself find a way to discharge those negative emotions, discharge the attachment to it, and align yourself back to what really is in your calling, in your destiny, okay? We also have rainbow in reverse, and it says you're skeptical, rigid, materialistic, and detached. Okay. For sure, some of you have definitely become very critical and skeptical about life, about yourself, about the universe. I don't think you're really in a place where you can just believe that good things are coming for you. In fact, a lot of times if you see these types of messages, either on social media or from people around you, I think you have a hard time believing that that's even possible anymore, because you're so sick and tired of what you have been going through in your life. And like, we've heard so much about the law of attraction or these manifestation things working out for other people, and you're wondering, well, when is it my turn, you know? And here's the thing with Spirit. Spirit is saying that, like, what have you devoted time to in the last couple of years in your life? Like, what lessons, what paths, and what blessings have you really been calling in? Like, have a real talk with your higher self, with your spirit guides, in your meditations, in your journals, things like that. Because you basically reap what you sow, is what I'm hearing. And that's a very tough love message. But Spirit is saying that, like, whatever you've devoted your time to, you have received the fruits of your labor. And I think a lot of the things that you've been going through has been about almost like finding your path through a process of elimination. Like, you tried something and you realized that, oh, that's really not me. And then you moved on. And then you tried something else and you realized that, holy shit, that's not me either. And then you moved on. Or maybe you went into this relationship or you went into this community and you tried to fit in. And the lesson was that trying to fit in into something that isn't meant for you is a total disaster. So you've gone into many different situations, having learned a lot of lessons. And lessons, as much as they are difficult, and maybe there isn't much to show for after you learn a lesson, they are still very valuable, and they will help you in times of success, in times of accomplishment. So don't look down on your lessons in life. Carry those wisdom with you, and it will definitely help you when you reach your accomplishment, which is here with divine magic, okay? Underneath the deck, we have holy shit. Oh, we are reality check. I was just talking about having like a real talk with your higher self, with spirit, okay? It says your assessment, exploration, honesty, and determination. Yeah, it's time for a reality check in terms of really dissecting and understanding what you've been spending your time on in the last few years, and just having like and taking some stock of everything that you have accomplished so far. And you might just surprise yourself at how much you have actually done. how much you've learned, and then you'll be able to map out more clearly perhaps where then you want to go from here. But if we're just going off of like feeling like I feel crappy, or like I feel unaccomplished, or I feel really shitty about myself, or I feel that the universe hasn't been giving me what I asked for, that may be more of a perception rather than a reality, especially with feelings, because feelings can get very cloudy sometimes. So take a real stock take inventory check of your life, maybe in the past 5 or 10 years. And you might just surprise yourself with actually what you've done. And it might also give you the confidence boost to then go after the thing that you really want, okay? Let's see what else Spirit wants you to know. Okay, that card flipped out, but it didn't actually come out. But we have here Aquamarine and White Lily go with the flow. Divine Mother, Shekinah, Flow, and Detach. Ooh, Detach is coming out twice here. Oh, but this detached is not that positive of a detached, but detach here. And also Divine Mother, again, that whole idea of birth coming in. But this go with the flow is essentially letting go of control. You are being called to like go with the flow more. It's a time of your life that you don't have to plan everything, you don't have to know everything. Just trust that you're in good hands, in the good hands of Spirit, and it will take you to your destination, okay? Let's get you one more card. Okay, we have here Mushroom Magic, Communication, Exploring New States of Consciousness and Untapped Potential. And underneath the deck, we have here Fuchsia and Feldspar, Inner Child, Innocence, and Self-Awareness. Okay, so one thing here is your inner child might be communicating with you quite a lot lately. They might just be showing you some unrealized childhood dreams that are calling for your attention now and calling for you to return back to those childhood dreams that you might have dismissed as being childish, that you might have dismissed as being unrealistic. It might be time to just revisit them, because there could really be something there for you that is more meant for you than any other quote-unquote adult serious dream that you've had, okay? So your inner child and even Spirit is communicating to you actively at this time. So you're not left alone to just go with the flow. You're certainly not left to your own devices to just like create this new life in your life. You are very supported through Spirit, through your past self, through your inner self, through your future self as well, to create this new reality, okay? And let's find out some affirmation cards for you. We have here, the universe has something very special in store for me, and life is good to me. Beautiful. Okay, so pile number 1. Oh, hang on. I want to check out what's underneath the deck. The universe is always helping me, sometimes in unexpected ways. Holy shit, I love this for you. I love this for you so much. Okay, so pile 1, thank you so much. This was a bit of a longer reading, but I hope it did bring you some clarity for any questions that you might have. Thank you for being here, and I look forward to reading for you in future as well, okay? Bye now. Hello, pile 2, and welcome to your reading. So we're going to start off with tarot cards, and this card over here is going to show us the situation that you're dealing with, what is creating certain doubts or questions inside of you. And this card over here is Spirit's guidance to you, okay? So let's see here. The situation is the King of Pentacles in reverse. Okay, so the King of Pentacles is a character who has mastered the Earth suit, the Pentacle suit. And in his mastery, he has really learned how to develop value, to create meaning in his earthly existence, or in the earthly existence, I can say. He also knows how not to exploit the value out of something, but to actually care for it such that it multiplies, such that it also benefits the people around him. So he actually has a positive relationship with material world, with growth, with abundance, right? He doesn't see those things as challenging anymore, right? He knows how to grow and to create, to build, and he has very strong foundations to stand on, which also makes him very stable and very grounded. So when this card is in reverse, the situation that is happening to you is something that's leaving you feeling very ungrounded and very unstable. Some of you might feel like, life in general, and I'm talking about like daily life, your day-to-day situations, what you do for work, your day-to-day routines. Things are just very, I'm hearing it's kind of like you're moving through moving through mud, and like every single thing is challenging. Waking up is difficult, going to work is difficult, finding the time to eat a proper meal or cook a proper meal is difficult. Like, so many things in your life just feel like you're going against the current, and it's just uncomfortable through and through. Which is also what the King of Pentacles is. He has found a way to have a lot of his comforts fulfilled, right? And because he knows the rule of abundance or the law of abundance, he knows that he can always draw from the earth, and he draws from it without exploiting it, which is very important in the healthy expression of the King of Pentacles. But for many of you, I'm hearing that you either feel very exploited, or you feel like you are never really giving yourself enough or giving to the people around you enough to bring value to your life and the lives of those around you. Like, for instance, this could be you feeling like you're burning two sides of the candle, and you're not taken care of, your family isn't taken care of, and you don't have the resources to help either party. So your hands are tied, and you feel really drowned by these day-to-day challenges that you face. And I think some of you really wonder if this will ever end, because this feels like a never-ending cycle of non-stop challenge, and it's just a very repetitive and unhealthy cycle to be in. Okay, so if this is your situation, let's look at some guidance meant for you. And we have the Knight of Pentacles. Wow. So definitely, if you're wondering if there's an end to this nightmare, there is. Because the Knight of Pentacles is here to deliver you a message of good news. The Knight of Pentacles is a very dependable knight. You can count on him to deliver this pentacle over to wherever he is meant to go. And he does so with a lot of, with a meticulous attitude or a way of doing it, right? Because he wants to ensure that he delivers the fullness of this pentacle over to his destination. So for many of you, you're asking if some things will ever arrive, if the things that you've been praying for, will they come to you? Yes, and they will come to you in full. Okay? It is taking time, because the Pentacles, King and Knight of Pentacles, both in your reading here, the Pentacles are the slowest moving suit in the tarot. So it is taking a bit of time. And I wonder if some of you are like running out of patience because of just how difficult things are. But the silver lining in all of this is that you can really count on the fact that you will receive your blessings, that in due time you will get the rewards. Okay, we are going to pull oracle cards, so we will see if we get any timing messages. But if not, don't worry too much about timing, because I kind of feel like that's not the main point here. The main point is that you will be provided for with the Pentacles. I mean, the Knight of Pentacles, although he is coming towards you, but he is also saying that in the midst of all of this, like, he has his timing, and his timing is divine timing. So I think for many of you, you will be provided for in the meantime, while this thing that you've been praying for makes its way to you. So do not worry too much. But yeah, we will see if we get any timing messages in our oracle cards. Okay, so let's see here. Okay, we have here, Wood Dog, trust your intuition. And Metal Snake, embrace the great transformation. Okay. So trust your intuition about something that if you've been feeling in your heart that you want to like go somewhere, you want to do something, especially if you just feel like I really need to talk to somebody or go somewhere to like explore something and I don't really know why. Trust the intuition, because I kind of feel like these serendipitous encounters can open up unexpected opportunities or open up unexpected things inside of you at the very least. Like you might just learn something new about yourself or unlock certain healing for yourself, you know, by engaging in something just serendipitously. Like maybe you just feel like going for a massage, and that could have been the best massage you ever received in your life that helps you to like let go of some stress. Like even then, that is something that your intuition is helping you to tide you through this challenging time. So in this season, trust your intuition and embrace this great transformation. Yeah, you are definitely going through some major changes in your life. And I think this message also feels quite reassuring because it is confirmation that you are going through a great transformation. And I feel like for many of you, you don't think that anything is changing. So you're a bit worried that you might be staying stagnant for some time in your life, or not just stagnant, but backsliding even. And this is great confirmation that actually you are progressing, things are improving, things are changing. It is just taking a bit of time, okay? We have Earth Rabbit in harmony with the season underneath the deck. Okay, so again, this is all about that divine timing message. This is all about being one with the universe's seasons. So unfortunately, we don't have a timing message yet, but again, don't be too hard-pressed about it because I think everything will work out, and I do really believe that, okay? Let's see what else comes through for you. Okay, we have insecurity. This is very much that King of Pentacles again, because in reverse, you know, they are not in a position where they feel grounded or secure. And this could be something that you deal with. And we have completion and perception underneath the deck. Okay. So one thing here from Spirit as guidance to you is to look at why you feel insecure when maybe, let's say, you don't have a certain amount of money in your bank account, or why you feel insecure if, let's say, you aren't working in a 9 to 5, or maybe you don't have a specific amount of income coming in into your life every month, or at least on a regular basis. Like, what makes such situations feel insecure to you? And they really want you to challenge the assumption that life needs to be that way to be secure, meaning that you need to work in a 9 to 5 in order to be secure, or that you need to have this amount in your bank account to show that you're secure, right? Or this amount of money in your bank account means that you have financial stability. Like, Spirit really wants you to question these assumptions because it may be something that you have grown accustomed to, that as you are growing up, this is what people always say, and you've just taken these messages for granted. But does it really hold truth, right? Does life have to be structured around these terms and conditions? And what does true security mean? I feel like that could be the deeper lesson that is driving this entire experience, which is what really makes you, or what can you really trust? How can you really trust in yourself and trust in life? Like, do you only feel safe if you have a job, or you have a certain amount of savings, or if you have a house, for instance? Are those things the things that make you feel safe? And again, Spirit is also saying that, you know, it's too deterministic or too one-sided to say that, oh, you should question if you have if you feel safe only if you have a job, because that's too worldly. But the thing is, Spirit is also saying that no, like, worldly concerns are valid. So they're not asking you to write off your worldly concerns, because like material security brings about a lot of psychological safety as well. So it's not that it's a bad thing. They're just saying that have you put too much weight on those things and made yourself almost like overly reliant on these material comforts for stability and for security, when in fact there may be other things in life that could give you more fulfillment and more satisfaction. So some food for thought. And completion here makes me feel like, I mean, especially with this grave over here, it's again a reminder that life is very unpredictable, right? You never really know what are the endings in sight for you, and what things come and go, and things change all the time. So don't be too hard pressed again that like you're in this position of discomfort and instability for a long time, because if we can count on change being the only constant in this world, then you know that this situation will also change, right? So if you believe that you're always going to be so in this kind of like desolate position, know that nope, it's definitely going to change. It's just a matter of when. Okay, so perception again, like don't be too stuck on any one perception. Don't be too stuck on any one position to take, because life is ever changing. We're being definitely called to be more fluid about how we view our lives, how we view value, how we see ourselves and our self-worth. Because again, the pentacles, they rule over the material, but also about value, and value can be intrinsic value, your own value for yourself, and also external value, right? So those things all come together. Let's see what else Spirit wants you to know. We have here, don't compromise in reverse, passive, resigned, intimidated, and fearful. So don't compromise on your vision, on what you really want to see come to fruition in your life, because the Knight of Pentacles here is a very uncompromising figure, and so is the King of Pentacles as well. Like they didn't arrive at their position by compromising, right? There's something really dependable and very grounded and kind of like very solid, to these figures. Like you can really count on them. Like I can count on the King of Pentacles to deliver his promise. I can count on the Knight of Pentacles to deliver the Pentacle, right? So when it comes to manifestation, don't compromise on that vision. Don't feel like you need to cut corners just because you haven't been able to get what you want, and you might feel like, okay, let me just take this thing out. Maybe it's not that important to me. Let me just remove it. No, don't compromise, because the whole thing, the fullness of what you want, the fullness of your prayer will be delivered to you, and it will be delivered to you in full is the message. Okay, let's get you one more card from this deck. All right, every time I say one more card, I get two. So I'm going to stop saying that. But we have Red Uriel in reverse, and it's apathetic, wounded, unfulfilled, and divided. And then we also have focus on your health, wellness, active, radiant, and nourishment. Okay, so to me, this red card and the insecurity card, I mean, they both come together having this red chakra energy, and the red chakra is the root chakra, which is very much related to a certain sense of like foundation inside of us, right? And so many of you definitely feel ungrounded, and you feel that, yeah, like your base isn't, it's like you have a cup but it's leaking from the bottom, and if you don't fix that leak, anything that you pour in will always just run out. So Uriel here is pointing to us that there are some of these wounds that are making us feel very unbalanced, because we always want more in life, but then how do we get more when whatever we pour into ourselves just runs out and runs away? Like, why are there these leakages here? So interestingly, the remedy for many of you is health, is wellness, is taking care of yourself, is self-care. The remedy isn't more work. It's not more, like more fist pumping action, not more like clenching up your fists and like getting it done with hard work. No, the remedy actually is to take it easy, focus on your health, go for your walks, go for your exercise. And something about taking good care of yourself makes that root chakra wound healed. And I know what it is, because of course, the more you can take care of your physical body, the more that physical boundary and that physical self feels taken care of and feels safe. It also translates to other types of security and safety in your life. And especially the root chakra is very connected to the body, right? So there is definitely a big message here about being more conscientious of our body, taking care of our physical safety and wellness and health and security, and how that translates to then material wellness and material health, material abundance, than maybe to emotional wellness, mental wellness, and even spiritual wellness, okay? Underneath the deck, we have open your heart to love, and the keywords are vulnerability, forgiveness, allowing, and community. So some of you might have closed your hearts off to the possibility of love, and love in a bigger sense, not just romantic love, but just love for life, love for yourself, love for the people around you. Like, you might have felt very disconnected to that, and I think something that can help you to shift into a more positive energy is to at least start loving yourself by doing good things for your health, doing good things for your wellness, okay? Let's see what else Spirit wants you to know. We have here the green epidote and star jasmine card, and the keywords are restructure, identifying, reframing, and enhancing. Okay, and we also have candle quartz and bleeding heart. Show yourself, vulnerability, self-worth, feminine healing. Okay. Underneath the deck, we have Presley Blue Stone, pilgrimage, and the keywords are sacred sites, great work, and dragon energy. Okay, so there's a lot of green on these cards, so it's also again bringing up that heart chakra energy, and there's like heart here and a heart here, and where was that? This heart here. So I do think that, you know, opening up your heart chakra, opening up your heart in general is also something coming through. There's a lot of heart chakra healing as well. But the message over here essentially is it's time to stop hiding, you know, show yourself and restructure. It's time to stop. It's time to stop pretending that your dreams aren't that big and that important to you. I feel like some of you have been trying to like play it cool and try to take it easy and like, oh no, it doesn't really matter to me. And it really does. It really does matter. And there's something about the way that you try to like sweep it aside that it's not genuine detachment from your goals, but you're just pretending that it doesn't matter, maybe because of the lack of achievement around it. You know, so we tell ourselves that it doesn't really matter because, you know, it's just a hobby, it's just a passion project, but actually you really want it to be your main project. So be real with yourself, show yourself and restructure. And showing yourself may not mean showing yourself to the whole world in a very public sense, but at least show yourself to you. Have the courage to acknowledge to yourself that I really want these things in my life, and I'm willing to restructure my life around my main goal, not compromising here. That's what we're being called to do. And there's a strong sense of persistence and courage and strength coming through with these two cards that really ties in well with this King of Pentacles, Knight of Pentacles energy. Because these energies here, they are very persistent. And you could say that the King of Pentacles is pretty damn stubborn as well, okay? So if he sets his sights on something, he is gonna get it. That is the King of Pentacles for you. So for many of you, you're also being called to be a lot more persistent. What you want is, you're gonna get it. So just hold your horses. Don't back out yet, just yet. Give yourself time to go get it, okay? Pilgrimage underneath the deck. So again, pilgrimage is a journey towards a specific spiritual destination, right? And how much persistence does it take for one to go on a pilgrimage? A lot, right? Like, it's designed not to be something that you just go as like a vacation. Like, it's not meant to be like a, you know, like a south of France kind of vacation. No, like pilgrimages also invite us to delve into the deeper parts of ourselves, spiritually speaking. And they invite us to go in, not necessarily as a challenge, I don't think, but there is a sense of sacredness and having to go deeper as a commitment, as a act of devotion, as an act of persistence as well, that I want to meet my divine self and I want to meet the divine in me, right? So this is where that, again, that strength and persistence comes through so strongly here. Your pilgrimage is, I mean, You could take it literally as a pilgrimage that maybe you feel called to do, but take it metaphorically, right? Like this is the pilgrimage of your life, to meet your true self from within, to meet your divine self inside of you, to not shy away from the fullness of what you can offer to yourself, and not back down from your full strength of light. It's quite a deep journey that you're on, and it's very demanding. Oh yeah, that's what I'm trying to say. Like pilgrimages are very demanding, right? They're very spiritually demanding. They can also be physically demanding depending on what your state is. So it is definitely calling for you to like show up and show up with your best self, show up with your best work, put your best foot forward, essentially. And keep doing that, you will see results, okay? Let's close off with some final affirmations for you. We have here, in my heart, I know that good things are coming my way. Amazing. And over here it says, I don't compare myself to others because I'm not meant to be a copy of anyone else. I was born to be me, an original, one of a kind. I am happy to be me. That is a beautiful message. And then we have here, I'm doing so well on my life journey. I am proud of myself. Oh, that's so sweet. Okay, and so Paul too, this is what I see for you. Thank you very much for being here. I hope this reading brought you the clarity that you were seeking, and I do look forward to reading for you in future as well. Bye now. Hello Paul 3, and welcome to your reading. So we're going to start off with tarot cards, and these two cards here will show us the situation that you're dealing with, which is a situation that you would like to have some information to clear up your doubts on. And this card here will show us the guidance from spirit. Wow, I can't talk. But anyway, let us look here. So your situation is the Ace of Swords. Ooh, and the King of Swords in reverse. Wow. Okay, very interesting, because the Ace of Swords obviously starts off the suit of swords, and the King of Swords ends the suit of swords. So you have the first and the last card in the sword suit. And I think one thing that's very clear coming through is, like, for many of you, you felt like you received some divine information that something was meant for you, or that you were meant to go on some kind of journey or some kind of path, and you took it and you ran with it with the Ace of Swords. But along the way, it's been so challenging and to the point where you're cursing out on the universe, right? And you're asking the universe, why have you set me on this path when it doesn't even make any sense anymore? All right, we have this thinker card here, right? I mean, this thinker image on this card, on the Elder of Swords, King of Swords. And in reverse, he's basically like, what the fuck, man? Like, what have you done? Like, why have you put me on this path when I feel so unfit for it? Is the word I think you guys might be feeling. Like, you feel so, I'm also even hearing like undeserving. Like, so maybe some of you have gotten somewhere, but like you feel like, hey, I don't think I belong here. Like, you feel very fish out of water. You don't think that you are meant to be on this path. I kind of feel like you're comparing yourself to a lot of other people, and you don't feel like you are gonna be anywhere near them in terms of accomplishment or standing or knowledge or capability or talent. And you don't even know why you were put on this path. And you are definitely having second doubts about this journey that you're quote unquote meant to go on, and wondering if you're even meant to go on this journey, or maybe it was just a huge diversion or a huge distraction. Okay, so the interesting thing though is the Ace of Swords here is saying that this divine message that you got, it still stands, because the Ace of Swords is upright, right? It's not saying that you misread the Ace of Swords. No, it's saying that, yeah, you got it right. Yeah, that was your calling. And yes, you took that calling. Now, the only thing is that we're kind of like questioning it because of the downs we have had to deal with in going through this journey, and that's making us question if it's meant for us. Okay, so anyway, let's look at what Spirit's guidance for you. Okay, and we have the Wheel of Fortune. Okay, I feel like every single pal today has had this message in different forms, and the message basically here is to let go of control. Um, I feel like every pal has had something like that, which is kind of funny, but this is Spirit's way of saying that sometimes when we're trying so hard to understand something, it's probably also important to know that that's understanding is a very mental thing. And we live in a very mental world, and we are expecting that, we get understanding in the form of like a written letter, something that we can pen down, something that we can explain, something that we can logically kind of like dissect. But then there are other ways of understanding something that could be more fluid, right? Like spiritual understanding that maybe doesn't come with words. A lot of times, spiritual understanding of things doesn't come with words, and that's the whole point of a lot of like deep devotional studies, right? Is to realize that the word of the universe, or the word of God, the word of spirit, however you want to call it, it cannot really be explained through words. It has to be understood from the soul and from the heart. I'm losing what that word is, but you have to like feel it, you have to know it. Yeah, that's the word. You just have to know it in your heart, and the knowing comes with such a wave of clarity that words cannot replace. Okay, so apart from mental understanding, which you may feel that you're lacking, Spirit is saying, well, what about emotional, spiritual, or physical understanding? Like, what does your body feel about this? Like, does your body gravitate towards wanting to do something? And I know that sounds a bit strange, but if you already feel like jumping out of your skin when you're doing something, you know probably there's something there that's not right. But if you know, like for instance, that when you're doing this thing that you feel called to do, your body leans in, you're engaged, you actually pay attention and you want to do it, then hey, your body is sending you signs too that maybe there is something here, but we just don't have the words for it just yet. Now, the next message here with the Wheel of Fortune definitely is to let go of control and to trust what the universe brings to you. This is very much a big message of surrendering. Because I also see here with this portal, right, that you have reached out to the divine just as much as the divine has reached out to you. And I'm also hearing that there's no difference between which hand is the divine and which hand is the divine's and which hand is yours in this image, because the divine is in you and you are in the divine. So when this calling came to you, it could just as very well have been you reaching out to this calling, your soul extending itself to grab hold of what it came here to do. So there's something very magical about that. And this whole process of reaching out and actually finally grabbing hold of the thing we want requires us to surrender. You will be taken to unexpected places. This is the message of the Wheel of Fortune as well. Perhaps you have already been you have already went to unexpected places. And it's gonna show you who you are meant to be or who you need to be to become the person that your soul came here to be. And that process requires a lot of surrendering, I must say, to become the person that you're meant to be, not who you think you should be, and to let go and become that person. That requires a lot of surrendering. Okay, so if you are looking for confirmation about whether or not you're on the right path, the answer is yes. And then how to walk that path? The answer is to let go. Okay, so let's get you some oracle cards to see what else Spirit wants you to know. Okay, all right, we have Earth Dragon, as above so below. We have Water Dragon, manifesting your dreams. And Metal Pig, partnership and collaboration. Wow. As above, so below in this partnership card, it has this very big message of co-creation, right? Building together with the divine. This Mobius here is definitely this whole message of how we are working together constantly with the divine, and therefore then it creates magic. So you are manifesting your dreams, and it may not have been easy, but it's building you up to be who you're meant to be. And I mean, I say that with so much love because sometimes the challenges can be really, really big, right? Like, and really, really testing us and our character and testing everything that we think we know about ourselves or about the universe, which is so it's not easy to go through those things. But you are co-creating something with the universe. You're not just making your dreams happen, but you're also making yourself in the process. And whoever you become is not going to just be change for you, but you're also changing into someone that will then benefit the community or the people around you. So just take note of that. There's something more, than just yourself that you're building here. Underneath that, we have Metal Ox, experience the greatest love. Aww. So love is also something that you could be manifesting in this time. The message of like this story here, which is this whole image here, there's a whole Asian Chinese folk story behind it. I won't go into it, but there's something here about like this is a once in a lifetime opportunity, guys. Like you have encountered your once in a lifetime opportunity to get something done, to encounter what is meant for you. Like you've encountered it. And how many people can say that they have encountered the love of their life or the dreams of their life or like their soul's calling, right? Like a lot of people go through life never really knowing what their calling is. So count yourself lucky that you have it is the first is one of the messages here. And trust that you are getting there because you are. Okay. Let us see what else Spirit wants you to know. We have victim. Yeah, some of you definitely feel very victimized. Like you feel like, Spirit put you on like a wrong path. Like there was some kind of like divine mistake and you're not meant to be here. But if you extract yourself from that victim state, you might be able to see a different reality for you. Like that maybe you could see that all of these challenges are in fact bringing you some kind of positive benefit, So try your best to see beyond just like the victim story that is playing out here. Okay. All right. And the next card is release. Yeah. Certainly it's a very emotional journey, not gonna lie. It's not easy to go through these things, especially, the Suit of Swords is not an easy suit in and of itself. You have things like the Five of Swords, Three of Swords even. Seven of Swords is right there, Eight of Swords as well. All of these cards are not easy things to deal with. So if you've even dealt with any of the above, heartbreak, competition to the point of manipulation, maybe betrayal or illusions even, like none of those things are easy, right? So it's also emotional. So take some time to release, to discharge the emotions, to discharge all of that like very high intense situations that you've been dealing with. Find a way to do that for yourself. If not, you will always be holding it somewhere inside of you, right? Like it's always like some stain on in our hearts. It's like it becomes like this stain that ends up growing and growing and becomes like this victim story that ends up playing out. But underneath that we have renewal, which is beautiful. Beautiful energy underneath like release and victim. To know that if you release your victimhood, you can actually find out the real gems. You can actually find the real lessons and the real gems underneath all of this, and be able to be proud of yourself for who you are and who you've become and everything that you've gained in the process. Okay, let's see what else Spirit wants you to know or what your angels want you to know. And we have here Zadkiel, purple, and the keywords are destiny, pride, conscious, and forgiveness. Yeah, if you needed more confirmation that this is your destiny, the Archangel Zadkiel here is here to confirm it. You are walking your path, guys. Okay, and you are very supported in this journey of walking your path. So don't forget that. Don't ever forget that. All right, let's try to get a bit more message from you from this deck. And the card is Guardian Angels White. Yep. You are so very supported. You're a whole team of like you have a whole spiritual team with you, all right? It's a crowded room to say the least, okay? And it says your protection. Yep, very protected. Clarity, spirituality, and wisdom. So you've been very protected. If you face certain like challenges or rejections or like some blockages, like consider that could have been spirit's way or your spiritual team's way of like diverting you towards something better. Like sometimes when you face a roadblock, it could also be spirit's way of saying like, oh, hang on, if you keep going down this way, there's going to be even more challenge. So let me bring you to another path that is less challenging, you know? So they're offering you this perspective. It's not an easy perspective to take because we never know, right? Like what would have happened if all of the doors were wide open and you just walk down every path? We never know. So we can trust and choose to be in a state of trust and surrender that where we're meant to be is exactly where we're supposed to be. Well, that doesn't make any sense, but like that we are meant to be where we are at, essentially, okay? But underneath the deck, yeah, everything's okay. I could not have said it better. And the universe is delivering some big news. Okay, so if you're waiting for it, big news is coming. But the message here is reassurance, support, guidance, and overseen. Again, if you need more confirmation that you're being supported and that everything is okay and that you have such a huge team with you and they're constantly guiding you and like they're overseeing you, and they're not just overseeing, but it's like they've overseen this process. They've seen it all and they're helping you to get there and they're helping you to get to like wherever it is that you're meant to go. Like you are so divinely guided and protected, Part 3. So do not worry about a thing, okay? Everything's gonna be okay. All right, let's find out some other messages from Spirit to you. And the first card is Crystal, Great Focus, Create with Intent. Yeah, all you need to do is to just keep focusing on what you want, keep focusing on your intention, and the rest will be handled, okay? Whoa, that kind of fell out quite intensely. But the next two cards is Inner Child, Fuchsia and Feldspar, Innocence, Self-Awareness. And all of my cards are a little bit... Okay, but we're going to stop fidgeting with that. Okay, and then we have Green Man and Moss Agate, Ritual and Ceremony, New Spirit Guides, Tree Wisdom. Need we say more? Like, you have a whole spiritual team and new spirit guides. Like, you guys are so loved, so protected. Your spiritual team is like very present with you and they're like actively working with you. So do not worry about a thing, okay? But also there's some innocence coming through here with the Inner Child card, meaning that you don't have to overthink things. And sometimes it's like the very adulting part of us or the very adult part of us that likes to like overthink something. But our inner child, in all of its innocence and naivety, for instance, could also bring about a lot of magic. Like just go with the flow, not think so much, just build and do what you want and create sandcastles and play. Like that could have been maybe more effective than the adult part that wants to like plan and constantly worry and analyze. Like inner child is helping you to just be and play more. And through play, like play is a very divine act actually, right? Like playing also helps us to let go of the control of outcome, right? We stop controlling what we think should happen when we're in a state of play. So just let go, have fun, and laugh all the way to the finish line is the message here. Okay, underneath the deck we have Ethiopian Opal, Fertile Ground, Pegasus, Unicorn Energy, and Rainbow Child. Okay, you're standing on fertile ground. Okay, so everything is okay. You have nothing to worry about. All right, let's get you some final affirmation cards. That one wanted to come out, but not really. Let's just keep going. Okay, we have here, I choose to live with courage. I do not allow others to intimidate me. I stand my ground. I never give up. Yeah, period. Okay, and underneath the deck we have, I choose happy and loving thoughts. I feel good and express my love for myself and others. Nice. So pile number 3, this is your reading. I hope that it brought you the clarity that you're seeking, and I look forward to reading for you in another one, okay? Bye now.